Hello everyone and welcome back to the Summoner LoA. Today we are leaving Illicor, the city of wizards, and entering the dark jungle. And I want to pick up a bit of pace in this series, because it's been half a year already. The snow and spider areas took longer than I expected, and then we wasted a lot of time on the beach. I mean, it was time well wasted, but still. So we're gonna do the entire dark jungle in a single episode. Let's go! So about the jungle environments, I think it's cool to have a jungle environment in Dungeon Siege. And actually it was kinda mandatory for this kind of adventure to make. However, I think the execution of it is rather mid. I mean, I don't hate it, it's not terrible, but I think it could have been done a lot better as well. What I don't like about it is sometimes it doesn't look like a jungle, it looks like a jungle level, if you know what I mean. I mean, like, often the structure of the terrain is too simple and too immediately visible. And too square somehow. Here we meet some new enemies, the Ghouliks and the Bukas. And they always appear together. By the way, I think someone on the team was named Ghoulik with last name. Maybe he was short? Take a look at these forest walls here. They made something similar for the dark forest, the redwood forest, also the snowy forest areas, and also the swamps. And this one is quite well done because it has two layers of texture. So you can see if you look closely that there's something else moving inside. So there's some parallaxing. But then they just called it a day and left it almost naked. They should have put a lot more trees in front. It's just too plainly visible. That's it.
Your kind are not welcome here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna meet our first Hassats, the cat enemies. Meow! Here's a little side area where we can find a set item, so let's go.
Your kind are not welcome here.
Yes, you've said that already. Oh look, Wyman is fighting with us. Brave little beast. But actually, Wyman, I think you're just stealing our XP, so I'm gonna set you to hold fire. It's a hidden little valley in here, and I'm gonna summon the Twisted Mucosa Brute mini-boss. These vases have fitting frags. Look! Ah, perfection! And these smaller vases, they use the same frags as the larger ones. So here we find Illicor's Amulet. We also already have the ring of this set. Now, you know me, I love complaining about every little thing in this game. So here's what I don't like about the Hassat. It's their death animations. They seem to fall too softly somehow. It looks a bit weird. Doesn't look physically real. And if you look at the archers when they die, they seem to glide a bit. Compare that with the death animation of the claw, for example. I like how they seem to bounce off the ground a bit. It looks great. Now the dark jungle is teeming with Hassat, and occasionally also ghoulics, bukas, some claws and some scorpions we'll meet later on. But there are two creatures that I'm especially interested in finding today, and I know they are in this jungle somewhere. And those are the Pupods and the Geckos. The Pupods will be easy to spot because I have the evil Pupod mod active, so they will attack, or they will be seen by my summons and they will attack the Pupod. But the Geckos are gonna be more difficult to spot because they are very small and they are ambient creatures. So let's keep our eyes open. Now here we meet a human in the middle of the jungle. His name is Kraal Yellowtalon, and he is quite the character.
I thank you for your aid, though I was sure to finish them off. It'll take me rough luck for one who be a simpleton friend. I choose this luck. It has saved me on more than one occasion from the vicious creatures that roam these woods. My name be Kraal. I have lived here among these beasts for nigh on 10 years now, since my ship was lost on the rocks on the south coast of the island. You seek the Dark One who leads the Zorask, huh? Aye, for sure he was the one that passed by here no more than a half day ago. He and that big brute Nosaram, the Zorask king. I ain't much for company, but if what you say is true, then I must ask to join ye.
Level 9 melee fighter. Well, no thanks.
Fine by me, stranger. Just a word of advice before we part ways. Stay away from them Utraean folk. Their equipment and goods are tainted with evil and wickedness. They made the Hassat in Zorask. Did they tell you that? Created them in their torture chambers, they did. Then they lost control. The beasts took over and turned this island into a living hell.
Now this guy, Kraal, may be one of the companions of the expedition by my parents, but it's not sure. They mention a guy named Kraal in their diary, but he's spelled differently, and this Kraal here says he's only been here for 10 years, which wouldn't match up. We will have to get to this chest from the other side where the bridge isn't broken. Well, he may well have lost track of time, and his mind into the bargain. So who knows. Anyways, this guy has definitely survived out here long enough on his own, so I'm not worried about leaving him here.
Hassat shall wear your skins and our backs, as you have done for centuries. Your teeth shall decorate my wares, your bones will snap, and we will dine on your flesh.
Ooh, 3 plus 11 armor. Not bad. Whoops, where are all my summons? Yeah, maybe I should back out. See the reddish lighting on the rock walls. The sun is setting.
is it? Look inside. Makes you look big. You look small.
Apparently trolls can talk. At least these ones. Here we find a little leaflet about this telescope called Itane's Eye, or Itane's Eye, or whatever. This tome appears to be a portion of a guidebook on how to correctly operate the telescope. By rotating the pedestal to various degree settings, one can observe all manner of fantastic astronomical sights high in the heavens. Though they are best observed during the dark hours of the night, one can look out during the day and observe the farthest constellations. The energies drawn from the faraway Fortress Emerald's energy stations provide enough power to the scope to allow it to pierce the upper layer of the atmosphere and allow the riches of space to be unfolded before the viewer, regardless of the hour of the day. Of course, would have been cool if we could actually do anything with it. But like this we can just admire the set piece. And what was that about energy stations? I mean, do they have electrical wires laid down underground through the jungle or what? No, probably it's a mystical form of energies transferred in a mystical way. Actually, it might have been energies drawn from the imprisoned shadow jumper. And that's why the telescope doesn't work anymore. Haha! Oh right, now Dulo, I completely forgot. Here, welcome to the team. Sure, you will get your size back, don't worry. Let's try out a new summon, the Swarmling. Now you may ask, why am I not turning Notch into a gnome? And that I'm not sure about. As Liza said, an equal male in the team threatens my fragile masculinity. But Notch somehow doesn't. I think it may be because he's so big that I don't compare myself with him. Well, anyways, let's not overanalyze here. Let's fight! Well, as expected, the swarmlings die rather quickly. They get a bit higher defense value because they are insects and therefore have an exoskeleton, but they are just so tiny that they don't get a lot of health. So that's how the Summons collection balances health and defense. The health is roughly related to the size of the creature, and the defense to how hard its body is, basically. Now here we are on the other side of the bridge, and over there is Kraal Yellowtalon, doing alright. Oh look, jungle spikers! A comparatively rare enemy in the jungle. There are so many containers to crack open throughout the entire campaign. Sure, it's nice to get loot, but it's almost tedious. Someone should make a mod to enable the helper summon to open containers. Look at this, now that's a nice amount of plants. If only for a few meters. Still looking for geckos in the corners. Oh, see that? Here's a Pupod. And there's another Pupod here. Oh, level up from the Pupod. Well, the XP from the Pupods may have been balanced for the Dark Swamp level. And I may have to reconsider this. So this is called Utrean Health Shrine. And it's the only health shrine on the map. At least the effects of health shrines are less specific, so their orientation doesn't matter and the placement matters less. So this looks alright, but they still made only one. Wait, did you see it? It's a gecko! Gecko alert! Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is! They have this cute little animation where they stick out their tongue. In the Kingdom of Ebb and the Utrean Peninsula you can find these geckos in the desert canyon areas. And here they live in the jungle. Guess they like it warm. Aw, don't run away, little gecko. Well, guess we gotta continue. But I have to remember this. Here at the live shrine, we meet both Pupods and geckos. Gotta keep healing those swarmlings, or they'll be gone in no time. Now, after the Utrean Health Shrine, this is the Well of the Spirits. Yeah, I'm afraid from here on the jungle turns into a kind of ancient Utrean theme park. This part is called the dig site. Oh, look what we find here! New flume shrooms! Let's pick up a few. Who knows when I will want to do a sketch again.
Utreans, humans, dwarves, little giants. The Hassat shall triumph over all. You have always tried to make us your slaves. Not anymore. You will pay for the suffering you have caused.
Now this is the Shrine of Galantia, whoever that was. Ooh, Night Leather of Ogre's Might. And it looks cool. Looks so cool, in fact, that I will give it to Notch, so I actually see it. The Heir of Illicor. Among the most famous of item sets is the Heir of Illicor, providing many benefits to the warrior who wears it. Chief among them the power of the air and wind, which will flow through the wearer's limbs and heart. Created by the most learned of Illicor's weaponsmiths, the combined items will provide great defense against enemies and greatly increase the power of one's nature magic skill. To complete the set, one must have the following items: a ring, an amulet, a beaded hauberk, a spellbook, and a staff. Now that's handy, because now you know what you must have missed when you didn't find all the items. You know what? Let's add our last new summon, the Killer Vines. They are a stationary summon, so I will use them when entering new enemy groups. Oof, I sense a certain lack of mana potions in my inventory. I hope that won't be a problem. Lore. Statue of the great scientist, creator of laws. And here we meet our first Hassat commander. They deal a lot of damage, so I'm glad my summons are taking it. Also they have this unique ray effect on them, but they are not unique, they appear multiple times on this map. Oh look, an orb of healing. I think it's actually quite useful for summoners, because I think it also heals summons automatically, but I just can't stand the noise it makes.
These Utrean trinkets are no match for the mighty Hassat. We shall destroy them, and all others who try to enslave us.
Oh wow, I'm a whole level ahead in nature magic. Guess I should put my only combat magic summon back into the mix. Also maybe use Orb of Fire instead. Shrine of Lore, final resting place of the great scientist. Now you can't do anything with this shrine either, but it has cool effects. There's also this pretty little lake in the back. I especially like the rotten tree. Oh, and look here! There's a broken teleporter, half buried in the ground. Well, I guess the ancient Utreans wanted to visit this shrine comfortably. You can imagine whole school classes coming here every day. Ah, and finally we have arrived at the entrance of Makesha, City of Splendors. Now this seems to be the ruins of an ancient underground city. And here at the entrance we meet some quest NPC and a shop.
for Therg. He's down below somewhere. In the meantime, if you need anything, I've picked up a whole bunch of supplies in our travels. It's almost as if people just drop the stuff they don't want when they got too much, regardless of where they are. Armor, weapons, potions. It's ridiculous. So, I pick it up when I find it, and try to make myself a little profit. Need anything?
Hey, Thrillwild, this guy doesn't sound funny enough. He needs more inflection in his voice.
All day breaking my back. And for what? We aren't going to find nothing down there. Therg? I think I saw him in the excavation a while ago. Check there.
Alright, I'm definitely gonna call it here, folks. This episode is almost an hour long. Hope you didn't fall asleep. We're gonna have to do the shopping at the beginning of the next one. Hope to see you there. Until then, have a good one, and bye bye!